Hey, what's up everyone? Watch this video here for Thursday, March 17th. Hey, St. Pat's Day tomorrow. Snuck up on me. Let me start off with the daily on the SPY. Today was FOMC day. You heard me talking about it in last night's video. So what always happened as far as pre-FOMC, right? Had a little action in the morning and then it goes into straight sidewaysness is what I call it. And let's see, actually, it did roll over a little bit before the announcement. And there's the announcement. Kind of had a nasty sell-off. Then we look like we're bouncing. Then we're like, no, we're not bouncing. And then we go out at the highs, right? So it's extremely unpredictable. I don't trade post FOMC from about maybe here to here. I did all my yard work. I got my grass looking good. And then I just came back, but I didn't do anything. I'm just terrible at predicting what's going to happen. Probably some decent setups this afternoon. There was a headline that came out, made it sound like China made a concession on the whole listing thing on the U.S. and audits. And we probably should have just jumped in NIO right at that moment. I'll show you NIO. Because it was somewhere right around here. And I did get a private message thanking me for posting that news. I know that was a different headline earlier. It was on the ceasefire. Anyway, it shows you the headline risk that we're dealing with. But I didn't. I had a decent morning before the FOMC, but probably should have jumped in NIO. I probably could have done it, somewhere right about there, I think, is when that headline came out. And then they all kind of went out at the high. So my problem is, on a day like today where the overall market just controlled almost every stock, it is very, very tough to find stocks that, look different than the others. So I kind of hate nights like this trying to find good looking charts because everything looks the same. So I have a list, but I'm not in love with it, right? So I'll start with NIO because it's on there, NIO, and it had the gap up and the strong close. So we're going to watch it tomorrow. It's trading at 1903, by the way, in after hours. And several other Chinese stocks all look the same. I'm also going to watch PDD, had the gap up and the strong close. So there's a couple Chinese plays on watch. But with China trading while we're sleeping, generally when the overall market over there is really strong or really weak, you end up with a big gap up or down, right? And so I'm not willing to hold a Chinese stock overnight. I don't hold any stock. I don't even hold my wife overnight. I don't take any risks, right? So for that reason, if China is going to squeeze again tomorrow, a lot of these will just open way higher and they'll open without me. So there's the downside of not being a swing trader, right? I make all my money between the bells. And yes, sometimes it's aggravating because I do see opportunities where I think, hey, this one's going to run again tomorrow. And you could have made that argument for NIO, 2 nights ago when all the Chinese stocks kind of closed green. Anyway, I'm not in anything, so I'll quit whining about it. APPH is kind of a handsome chart. It's still kind of flagging since this nice move, so I'm going to keep an eye on that one. Whoops, typed that wrong. SNOW, SNOW. Got a big bounce today. I had it on bounce watch, but again, we had the big gap up. I never did find an entry, and I can't say I was hyper-focused on it. But a really nice move. I'm going to keep that on watch. Again, it's, I hate looking at these long because a lot of them made such a big move already, but I'm looking at it long. We'll see. SONM, kind of interesting. Had the big pop 2 days ago, and then the inside day today. So, a possible break of that 2-day high. This thing might continue. MULN. This one's kind of interesting. It was 209 3 days ago. 2 days ago, 196, and then today's high, 178. Of course, it's in after hours trading a little higher at 189. So that one is kind of an interesting chart, especially with the recent action it's had. So anyway, that one's on long watch. ASTS, I do not love this one at all, but I talked about the gap up and the big day, inside day, then another gap up, then 3 ugly days, and now it's curling back up. I don't even, I want to say I don't like it. I certainly don't love it, but it is coming out of this bottoming tail, so maybe it's headed back up to the top of the range again. But you can tell by my voice, I'm sure, how excited I am about that one. CLSD. Had a really big 2-day move here, really a 3-day. Had the gap up, then the gap down, and then a big 2-day rip. But the reason I'm putting this one on watch is you can argue really strong lately, right? And today's high, 257, and yesterday's high, 259. So it never did break yesterday's high. So it's certainly interesting tomorrow, maybe over that 2-day high, even though it's extended. GTLB. I think they had earnings yesterday morning, and it gapped up on that, but got slapped back down, and then today just rips, but closed in about the middle of its range. Certainly worth keeping an eye on. By the way, I've already said this. I don't love any of these charts. SLB, Schlumberger, which I believe is in the oil and gas industry, right? Pretty much straight down from 46 down to 37, and you look to the left, and it does have some support here. And let me glance at USO. USO gapped up today, but closed weak. So, hey, I wonder if that translates. If I go get gas this afternoon, is it going to be much cheaper than it was a week ago? Because I kind of think it probably won't. And something about that just feels wrong. Anyway, SLB. One of the more interesting ones, excuse me, just because, especially if oil bounces, I like the chart setup, right? Straight down back into support. And then lastly, I can't type tonight. HYMC had the big rip and then the gap up and then 2 red days back down to support. So I'll put that on bounce watch. I absolutely don't love this list. I kind of need now I need a couple days to go by post FOMC for new standouts to show themselves. And then we can start looking at pullbacks on those things. But we'll also watch intraday and hopefully catch some news plays. We'll watch for our PFPD setups and things like that as well. And I'm done babbling. I'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.